All right, welcome back. I'm Eric Kane, and today we're going to talk about how video games cause violence in the real world. If you play a violent video game, you're probably like 3 inches away from shooting up a school or blowing up a government building or like, I don't know, laying waste to a church or a mosque or something. Like, that's why most people who play Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, and so forth are certifiably insane psychopathic killers. Clearly, obviously. Now, actually, what we're going to talk about is some stupidness on Twitter and in the world of video game journalism. On Twitter, a YouTuber and Polygon contributor, Jacob Geller, tweeted, "Unbelievable moment in the new Call of Duty campaign where, stalking through a trailer park, the game tells you to de-escalate a situation, and de-escalating means pointing your gun directly at civilians." And then there is a small clip, which has gotten over 1,000 quote tweets, over 38,000 likes, and over 3,000 retweets at the time of this video. Screenshot. Then we have a Polygon article from Owen S. Good, Esquire. Modern Warfare 2 teaches players the worst way to de-escalate a risky situation. Civilians upset? Point your weapon at them. New from Call of Duty, the franchise that gives you the F key to pay respects, now comes a novel way to de-escalate tensions with civilians. Aim your weapon at them. Apparently, Task Force 141 is raiding a trailer park, and NPC Cletus comes out to tell the soldiers the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 is respected in this household. Well, a guy comes out of his trailer. It's funny how they're managing to make fun of the civilians they're purportedly upset about in this article. A civilian comes out, and you're supposed to de-escalate the situation by pointing your gun at them. First of all, Mr. Good is wrong about who you're playing right now. You're not playing Task Force 141 at this point. You are playing as a Mexican Special Forces operator who, along with his commanding officer, have crossed the border into Texas, chasing down a terrorist named Hassan, who is being smuggled across by cartel members. They just crossed, and you cross after them, even though it's probably not legal and it's a bad idea. But you were asked by CIA operative Laswell to catch this guy because he's going to blow up missiles and kill a bunch of people. So you've gone in against your better judgment, and you're going through a trailer park in a neighborhood, and there's, you hear crashing ahead of you. There's the cartel running through these yards. People are yelling. And throughout this scene, people are very hostile. They're coming out like, "Get the fuck out of my lawn, off my lawn, get out of my yard." Some of them are armed, and I'm assuming they assume that you are cartel or some sort of criminal element, and so you de-escalate the situation by pointing your gun at them. You don't shoot them. You're not allowed to shoot civilians in Call of Duty. You'll have to restart from the checkpoint if you do. But this, Jacob Geller and Owen S. Good are very upset about this. Good mentions that they searched online for training documents and or tactics that police or paramilitary services use to de-escalate a volatile situation, and couldn't find any that where you're supposed to do this. Okay, sure, but if you ever, let's talk about American troops in Afghanistan going through buildings. If a civilian starts shouting at them, do you think that the American troops are going to point their gun at the civilian to de-escalate the situation, or are they going to have a nice conflict management session or something? I mean, this is where we're at in this mission, and I think it's actually kind of interesting because you have a Mexican soldier pointing a gun at American civilians to get them to calm down and back off, and it really actually is a reasonable de-escalation tactic. If someone comes at me with a baseball bat and I've got an M4, and I point my M4 at the guy with the baseball bat, he's probably going to back down. I'm certainly not going to just ask him to be nice if I'm in the middle of chasing a terrorist and heavily armed cartel with rocket launchers and shit. It's ridiculous. You're not police. You're not Task Force 141, as the article mistakenly states, and you're not a cop. Although a cop will point their gun at someone who comes at them with a baseball bat or something like that. This particular civilian is not armed, but in other clips or in other moments in this situation, the civilians who you have to point a gun at to get them to calm down and chill out are armed in some way or another. And you can't tell necessarily in each given situation whether you're dealing with a civilian or one of these cartel members and terrorists that you're trying to chase. So there's some uncertainty there. This isn't even that controversial of a moment. I've seen some people say, "Oh, it's Infinity Ward trying to drum up controversy and get more people talking about it." But I don't think so. It's actually like if you actually play this scene, you'll know what's going on. And like everyone on Twitter responding to Geller's tweet doesn't have a fucking clue what actually happens in this scenario. They think it's like cops pointing their guns at civilians or something. No, they don't. There was one person who's like, "It's the most American gameplay clip ever." It's like, you clearly don't know that you're actually playing Mexicans in this scene. And in Good's article, he also says it's an awkward quick timer event. It's not a quick time event. Quick time events require you to press a button in a certain amount of time. A quick time event is like where Q pops up on the screen. You have to press Q in order to do a task, like in old God of War games and stuff, or like the second Witcher game. This is not a quick time event. You just point your gun to calm down civilians. Yes, it prompts you to do that on screen one time, but then you have to do that several other times. They will attack you at a certain point. You can get hit with the bat, and hopefully, ideally, you don't, end up getting attacked and then accidentally shooting them. Because again, if you shoot a civilian in Call of Duty, you lose. There's people that are like, "Oh, this will have a lasting effect on people," or what are they teaching us? They're not teaching you shit. If you shoot a civilian in this game, you lose. You have to start over. This is just a scene where you're illegally crossing the border, trying to chase down a terrorist into the United States as a special forces Mexican soldier. I just love how these people try to make controversy out of nothing. Also, especially because come on, anyone who's been playing Call of Duty for a while remembers No Russian and some actually controversial scenes that have been in these games. And this ain't it. This is this is an interesting scene because it sort of flips. It's we've seen plenty of scenes where American troops go to Mexico. And that's we have that in this game too, although it's British troops. But we have plenty of popular media where American troops are in Mexico, maybe pointing guns at Mexican civilians. But you don't see the opposite very often. And so I actually think that's kind of an interesting subversive. I don't think they're really trying to say anything with it because they're really not trying to say anything political here. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they're pretending they're not political. They're clearly political." What's the political message here? That chasing down a terrorist, you have to point your gun at civilians to get them to calm down sometimes. I mean, literally that happens in a war zone. And this is basically a war zone in this scene. I mean, there's rockets that go off and shit. The cops do show up in the end and you have to, put your weapons away and you almost get shot and you almost get arrested. But then they're like, wait, these are with the CIA. And it's okay. It's all okay. Anyways, that's your dumb shit for today. Thanks for watching. Peace.
I've tapped into a surveillance drone. Some eyes on. Got movement down there, Alejandro.
Migrants are in the water. Border patrol's responding.
Narcos use the migrants as a distraction. They could be moving Hassan as we speak.
Copy. Where's FBI on this?
FBI's an hour out. Right now, you're all we got.
Stand by. Rodolfo, los migrantes son una distracción. El sujeto está en movimiento.
Parece que cruzaron el río en una lancha. Vamos a buscarlos.
Órale. Rade, Watcher.
Alejandro, do not let Hassan cross the border.
Solid copy. Out.
Si cruzan la frontera, güey, no tenemos jurisdicción.
Pues encargaremos de que no pase.
Mira, coronel, ahí, hacia el norte.
Esa es su lancha. Párate aquí. Escucha. El cartel está moviendo rápido a Hassan.
Todavía lo podemos agarrar antes de que crucen.
Entendido. El muro está adelante. Prepárate.
El cartel de las almas está trabajando con Irán. Esto es nuevo.
Escucha. Voces.
¿Y si Hassan cruza?
Cambia. Yo veo a 4 vándalos. Veo a Hassan, arriba del muro.
Estaremos allí.
Mierda, acaba de cruzar.
No lo podemos perder. Tenemos que interceptarlo.
Cruzó. Toma la escalera.
Tan comido.
Llevar al iraní es siempre más sencillo.
Es tuyo.
Y la paga es mejor. ¡Mierda!
¡Despejado!
Despejado.
Watcher, the target crossed. He's on the move. We're pursuing.
Colonel, that's not advisable. You have no authority or assets in the area.
I know. Just keep pushing FBI and contact local PD. Out. ¿Le echaste un ojo?
Negativo. Se fue corriendo.
Vamos a perseguirlo. Órale. El cartel lo va a llevar a una casa de seguridad en el pueblo. Tenemos que encontrarlo.
Entendido.
Hassan tiene más amigos aquí que nosotros. Esté atento.
¿Quieres que te mate, gringo? Entonces retrocede.
Por aquí. Vamos.
Someone's out there.
Fuckers.
Por acá.
Hey! What the
Special
hell are you
forces
doing?
stay inside.
Get back inside. Oh, shit!
El campo está libre. Muévete. La casa de la esquina.
Entendido. Lo veo.
Ábrela. Yo lo cubro. Cuidado, sargento. Párate en la puerta. Hay gente que vive en estas casas y nosotros no somos de aquí, güey. ¡Special Forces!
Special Forces!
You want some too?
Drop your weapon.
Fuck you!
Get the fuck back. Now!
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
The men who came through here, where did they go?
They went that way.
Rodolfo, vamos. Watcher, we're at the corner of Florida and Barajas. Target is moving west towards this house.
Copy. I've got local PD coming your way.
Roger, out.
¡Está por allá! ¡Oigan! ¡Los veo!
Patrullas del cartel. ¡Chíngatelos! Take your fire, cabrón.
Despejado.
Mira, se fueron por ahí. ¿Estás bien?
No es nada. ¿Tú?
Estoy listo, güey.
Puede que Hassan esté solo.
Pero no por mucho tiempo. Special Forces, get down!
What the fuck? Get the fuck out of my house!
I'm not here to hurt you. I'm looking for someone. La verga, no los pierdas de vista.
The man who came through here. Where is he?
Hey, hold it.
Yesenia!
Hands up.
Hey, hey,
On
hey!
the right.
Don't
Hands
fucking
up.
touch her!
Right now. Don't.
A la verga. Watcher, send medical. Civilian down. Rodolfo, vámonos.
Entendido. ¿Cuál casa es nuestro objetivo?
Empezamos con la azul de 2 pisos.
¿Por qué?
La luz de seguridad se acaba de apagar. Chota local. Llegó el asfalto.
¿Por qué?
La luz de seguridad se acaba de apagar. Chota local. Llegó el asfalto.
Do exactly what I say or I'll fucking shoot you. Understand? Step forward to me! I want to see empty hands above your head! I will shoot you if I have to!
I'm Colonel Alejandro Vargas of Special Forces. We're after a known terrorist.
Gomez, hold up. These are her guys. Hard to tell you boys apart from the cartel. Where's your suspect?
We tracked him down.